I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Here we go. Episode 44. Hope y'all are well. Moving right along. Started with Push.
Yeah, come on. At first no one believed that I could achieve goals I had set, hopes, dreams. Had no respect from my own team. So much pressure, felt like I couldn't breathe.
Push has a Sega Genesis themed video. Sega video is dope. I'll post a link to that. I wish I could find the And I Love It video. If you're a person listening that made these videos, thank you. There was no budget for this record. There was no single. There was no video made for any official video made for any song on this record. This is just two guys making music who are financially secure and having great careers, or the beginnings of great careers, and just still wanting to make music together and getting it to the people who love their music. For me, I also want to, we talked about, I want to show the fans that I'm still me. I still love this, and I still work with the guy you guys love me to work with. This had been the most successful combination I had seen. I don't know what song. I'm trying to think what song I would shoot a video for. I couldn't tell you. Push is a song that I wanted to do. I thought the crowd participation, because you put both feet on the ground and you push.
Can't let life beat you down, you gotta push. Don't look back when you fall, you gotta push. Soon as your back hits the wall, you gotta push. You gotta push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along, push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along.
Similar format to Bad Man and all those things, but it was definitely, the beat matched it, and wanted people to say push back. Yeah, it's funny. We're saying that two guys that wanted to make music that are in different places and well off in their careers. That's kind of what the last record is about. And I just took a meeting, sent the record out to a couple people, and took a meeting. And yeah, you guys might not get this record for a while. Things are changing and evolving for the better, God willing. But yeah, we just kind of started this record just doing it Tuesdays and Saturdays over the past 2 years, me and my homeboy Jesse, who we started together, and we narrowed it down to 10 songs, finally got those in a place that we would like some input, and people have some input. So we are going to work on it. I'm not in a rush to put out my last record. Like, as you could tell from this podcast, I'm really in a place in my life where if I don't have to rush something, great. I'm on a clock to get to jujitsu, karate, anime class, school drop off, pickup, recitals. Oh shit, did I miss a recital today? Oh fuck, man. Yeah. So I'm just gonna enjoy this process and be open to whatever changes, as long as it's to elevate the art, because this is my last album. I want it to be great.
At first no one believed that I could achieve goals I had set, hopes, dreams. Had no respect from my own team. So much pressure, felt like I couldn't breathe. Relieved when I shook all the doubts and decided to proceed. Yes, men, girlfriends, I don't need. Set my own pace, move at my own speed. Pushed on, did it by myself. No matter what you say, ain't none of y'all help. No matter what you think, I was standing on the brink.
Push, not a great song. I think it's back to the same thing with Free. Like, I'm just rapping too aggressive, even though someone heard the new album, said you're not rapping aggressive, and that's what we love you for. I'm like, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to call it angst, because that's, it's kind of not, it's juvenile, but not really. I get it. And I was like, yeah, I don't have, it's my last album. I don't have the angst. I'm happy to go make music with my friends. I have a lot to be frustrated and angry about, but the state of rap, I'm like, I could be disappointed. I'm old enough to where, like, everybody, like, it doesn't make me mad. It just disappoints me. It's not much that can anger me except for my children when I have to repeat myself. But that's the status of the new album, kind of coincided with what we're talking about today. At first, no one believed that I could achieve, and we just kind of go from there. You know, just I was always the shortest. Like it's weird for me. I was in groups with people that would talk down to me, people that I loved and respected me. And maybe it was just guy culture, you know. But just that weird jock shit, like. Kids on my son's sports teams will tell him, "Oh, you're trash." I'm like, well, you know, my son will start getting in his feelings, and I'm like, like who gives a fuck? If you're mad, slap that motherfucker. If not, like, fuck it. Like you are trash. You don't practice, bro. But you know, or is that gonna motivate you to practice more? You know, and that's my thing. I just like, all right, y'all think I'm whack. You know, certain people in the crew don't want to give me beats or don't let me be on certain songs. All right, I see it. I'm good. Like. I can get better at this because I love this. And it wasn't even a conscious thought. I'm just, you know, okay. Like just talking to my friend about the new album. Like, you don't have this and this doesn't sound like this. I'm all right. Yeah, you're right. And how can we make it better? You have some ideas? Great. Like that part of my ego was never there. And we'll get to that on It's For Real next. It's just, I always blame it on or say it's because my mother loved me with so much passion and purity and totality that I didn't need to score. And maybe because she was busy working, like I don't care if anyone comes to my show that I know. I don't need you in the crowd to cheer for me. It could be Latchkey Kid or whatever. I don't know. Like I am whole and complete onto myself. I hope I please God. And he's not chiming in vocally. So I don't need you to clap for me. I don't need you to be happy for me. I don't need you to be sad for me. I got this. Like that, I've just always been that way. And then if you have something constructive, I can glean off of the bullshit, your ego and your insecurities. Why would you want to call a younger dude in your crew ugly? And it's just like, why would you want to tell me that you get more pussy than me? Why would you want to tell me that you're a better rapper than why? I just let all that shit slide. Like, I know you love me in some place in you. You're broken where you feel like you have to insult me, but thank you for being honest. And I hear that. And you don't need to know that I hear that, but I'll show you that I hear that because I will get better. And I got here. Goals I set, hopes, dreams. Had no respect for my own team. So much pressure, felt like I couldn't breathe. I shook the doubt off and did it, man. It could be a motivator. Or you could get stuck in your feelings, or you could fight and argue with motherfuckers about their opinion on your appearance or your art. And it's never worth it. And something else my mother told me, I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but there's a rump for every stump. I say that groundways every time. I have a non-binary human that I mentor, MC Tahab, an actor and who just started rapping. And he listens, takes a lot of advice, takes a lot of direction. They listen, they take a lot of advice. And I love them. And it's just, I tell them all the time, like, just keep getting better at what you do because you are unique and there will be a stump for your rump or a rump for your stump, however it happens. But someone will want to come and feel at home with your art if you make it good enough. And even if you don't make it good enough, if you can make your voice heard. And when someone hasn't rapped before, it's harder to be better. But when they're being themselves, it's easier for them to be heard because you're not sounding like everyone else. You didn't grow up with Wayne or Murs or Slug or Rakim. You're not imitating anything. You're imitating the overall idea of rap, but I just feel like it cuts through different from someone who's not founded in the culture, but comes into the culture with respect. And I think that's why I was able to move past all the hate or the doubt or whatever was coming my way from people in my surroundings. It was just like, I'm not trying to be what you're doing. I never wanted to be cool. I just wanted to make a living and be better.
No matter what you say, ain't none of y'all help. No matter what you think, I was standing on the brink, gun in my hand, standing by the sink. Something inside wouldn't let me sink. Had a few drinks, saw a few shrinks. Been to the groups, I've been on the meds. And this is for my people that's living on the edge. You gotta put both feet on the ground and you push. Can't let life beat you down, you gotta push. Don't look back when you fall, you gotta push. Soon as your back hits the
Gun in my hand, standing by the sink. As I was listening to that line, it's about a night where I almost killed myself. I remember having the gun and looking in the mirror. And I had come close to killing other people, but I never left the house. I would pace and think about it and talk about it. It's like, do I get in the car? Do I walk outside? Do I go down the stairs? And I would never be able to open the door. But when because I feel like it's the same energy, man. It's the same demon. It's death.
I was standing on the brink. Gun in my hand, gun in my hand, gun in my hand, gun in my hand, gun in my hand.
When it was just me, I got so close. And it was like, I won't say that, I can't say that the peace of God fell over me. I just didn't do it. And this is around like Murs Rules the World, Varsity Blues. Like it was getting really, and on the other side of that was into the beginning, 316. So for anyone out there struggling, like, on the other side of that was all of this. And as challenging as all of this is, it's way better that I got to see it. I never wish I made the other decision that day. But, and then I just, I got rid of my gun. I was like, well, not got rid of it, but life. Oh, man. Yeah. I just never kept a gun after that. I'll say that. Because I was more in danger shooting myself, I understood at that point, than I was of killing anyone else. I would probably kill myself first before I killed anyone else. Both were dangerous, but the more present and clear danger was me being a danger to myself. But the funny thing was, I think that gun was the most expensive thing in my house. I had the couch that my mom had since before I was born. I think she said since 1975. That couch followed me everywhere, in every apartment for years. A Dreamcast, a TV with a back on it, like, with the big booty TV, as they say. The big booty TV on a milk crate. I don't think I even had a coffee table maybe I took a coffee table from my mom's house. A mini fridge, which I never used because any alcohol I bought was consumed instantly. I wasn't an adult buying 6-packs. I had the most forward planning I did as far as like supplies was a carton of cigarettes, jar of Vegemite that I would trick people into eating and trying, maybe some bread. I can't even remember. No kitchen table, no dining room. I had a dining room, a kitchen, and the bedroom was the mattress. Like may have been as much as the gun. And the box springs, no headboard, no nothing, no TV in the bedroom, a Limp Bizkit poster stapled to the wall, and the Limp Bizkit that cover that Mirror did, if you guys want to judge me. That was the totality and things to wash my ass and wipe my ass. That was it, y'all. That was my apartment. So, the most expensive thing in my house was probably my firearm. And that was going to be used to kill myself. So, but I didn't, I got the help. I did the cognitive behavioral therapy. Meds weren't really my thing because I travel, and the psychiatrist, I just talked to a friend now who ran out of his prescription and blah, 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 like going off cold turkey off of meds is, just going off of meds is period. It's rough. So once I had to do that on the God Loves Ugly tour, I said, I got to find another way, bro. I got to do the work. And so I stopped drinking for a while, stopped smoking cigarettes for a while, stopped eating meat, started working out, and I've been all right since without the meds. Not that everyone's path to a clear mind and a healthy mental health is different. If you're on meds and that works for you and you know that you can get them regularly or you can handle the gaps between re-upping or whatever it is, as long as you're here and making your best attempt at being happy, I love you and I'm proud of you.
And this is for my people that's living on the edge. You gotta put both feet on the ground and you push. Can't let life beat you down, you gotta push. Don't look back when you fall, you gotta push. Soon as your back hits the wall, you gotta push.
Ninth came up with the push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along.
Push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along.
That's dope. It's also from Instinctive Travels, which an album which I didn't fall in love with until 2020 or something. I don't know.
Listen to the song. If you can't pull it, all you gotta do is
push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along, push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along, push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along, push it along, push it along, push it along, yeah, push it along.
When Tribe started reissuing shit, I was like, all right, let me try to get into this one. I know the hits, you know, on Lucy, and I've heard all the songs, you know, disjointed, but I never just sat and played the album from front to back for days in a row, and I did that, and it's a great album. I honestly don't feel the same way about 3 Feet High and Rising, but I love De La, and I love that album. But People's Instinctive, I was like, fuck, yeah. I could see how people would argue, like, is this better than Low End Theory? Those first 3 Tribe albums, man.
kick it.
Move towards your blessings. Everything in life should be a forward progression. Don't stop, there's more to the session. Don't let obstacles become obsessions.
Move towards your blessings. Everything in life should be a forward progression. I start the first verse, and that's like Rasta shit. Like the Rasta them say forward. Everything is. I'm gonna call you forward. You know, everything is forward, and I love that. I love that they put. It could be superstition, but like the power of words is, you know, I and I instead of, you know, me or you. We're just one. You or I am I and I. Like that language. I think is just, even if there's no power in it. It's not a spell. It's words are spells and all that other creepy whatever spiritual shit. It is, when you speak, it is a reminder to self. And I love how a lot of Rastaman communicate. And I love that about that culture or religion, or however you want to say it. Only other highlight in this verse, I think, are like the don't let obstacles become obsessions. I was proud of myself, gave myself a little pat on the back with that. But even when you conquer the obstacle, if you turn around and you focus all your time on telling people what you overcame, so much, that's another reason I'm pushing towards the end of my rap career. Like, you run out of shit to rap about. Like, oh, I understand that you used to sell drugs. You know, for me, I understand that you used to sell tapes on the street. I get it. Fucking shut up about it. So even for those of us who move past the obstacles, sometimes they still become an obsession. Instead of realizing like, oh shit, let's look what's next. At least become, if you're going to be obsessed with obstacles, be obsessed with the obstacles on the horizon and how you're going to overcome them, and then make the obstacles your goal. Once again, I was at Earl's and Dwayne was telling me, I think it was Dwayne telling me, like, he's like, man, all the bullshit I look at is like spinach, and I'm Popeye. I just get stronger. I just look, oh, some bullshit, let me eat that. Let me get that. That's how I'm feeling great, man. Even if I'm going through a class, how you doing? Like, oh, I'm feeling great, man. Shit, you know, all the bullshit is just spinach, and I'm Popeye. And I was like, fuck, man. But that's, yeah, if you're going to be obsessed with your obstacles, like, be obsessed, like, ooh, okay, that's next. That looks fucking crazy. That's going to fuck me up. Let's go for it. And then, but so many people and in my circle at the time, and still to this day, just, you know, they get over it. You have to get over it. You got through it, or you'd be dead. Or, you know, if you're not incarcerated, like, you got to move forward. You can talk about it, and, you know, and there are exceptions to everything, but for the most part, a lot of us are able to move by. We just never mentally, you know, do it. People I was with, like, oh, this label owes me money, and fuck this label. I'm like, bro, you could just find a new label and put, you know, they're not holding you, you know, like, nah, fuck that motherfucker owes me $300, man. Fuck, like, so what? That's where that came from. Move on to the third verse. I got God and the devil got gone. That's just, you know, me still. I always fuck with Jesus no matter what, man. I don't really fuck with Christianity. I've been, like, the Bible is a great thing. You know, I try to read a chapter every day. My family is definitely deeply rooted in Christianity and Southern Baptist. So that's always been with me. I believe those prayers from my peoples have kept me safe and sane. but regardless of what I sound like to you or look like to you, I love Jesus and I love God. And at times that's been questioned and won, but for the most of my life, that's been the case. But I think it's great to question, and I do a lot of my questioning via the song. And I was thinking about that as we do these podcasts. It's like so masturbatory, like going over your own catalog, but it helps me process thoughts. And I was thinking like, man, at least I'm not, with everything going on in rap, I'm like, this is just so, everybody's like praising money, or you worship fame, or you worship the dope game, or you worship sex. And these are the things you make songs like when you make songs about these things, you are paying homage. Like I believe music's original purpose was to worship, to celebrate God. And and then I thought, okay, well, like now I'm on my high horse. I always try to turn the mirror back on myself. Okay, well, if they're praising fame and God, I'm the greatest MC, or I got the most money, or I got the most bitches, or I sold the most dope, those are all their gods. What is your God? And I'm like, man, my God is myself, which some people don't see as a problem. But like and a lot of indie rappers, like we talk about ourselves, even if we're talking about our problems, and, being critical of yourself is still an obsession with yourself. It's still an obsession with you. But if you focus on God, whether you believe God is the universe or love or service or whatever, I think it's just the music is better and more timeless. Or like love, like Isn't She Lovely? We talked about that. Like, oh man. Songs in the Key of Life, I didn't know how many slap. I've heard all those songs, but I didn't know they were all on the same album. I started playing the album for my kids, and I was like, damn, this is on here, damn. Because a lot of them I don't even know by name, because it came out in 1977. So those are things that album is all. I remember seeing that album in my house, Intervisions. My mom loves Stevie Wonder, Hotter Than July.
Everyone's feeling pretty. It's hotter than July. Though the world's full of problems.
In a Circle in a Square, like that era of Stevie Wonder, my mom loves.
I don't even speak, know the word is sweet. When part-time lovers. But if there's some emergency, have a male friend to ask for me. So then she
Those records were always, I was obsessed with records when I was a kid. Took a records to show and tell, like instead of toys, like this was my music has always been my thing. And that album is amazing. And Isn't She Lovely? Like making songs about things you love or people you love or love is, to me, if you can't make songs about God, like that's it. But these songs, I think some of these songs in a lot of underground is of service, but it's through self-reflection. So it's not as bad, but I just wanted to hop off my high horse and could find out if I had a God in my music, and a lot of my God is myself. But some like 5%ers believe like that, we are God. God is in all of us, the little G. Some believe the big G.
Peace, God.
Peace to the God.
How you, God?
I'm studying 120 right now. Call me back at the guard house.
I got God and the devil got gone. The dark side is not that strong. Put it all in perspective. The prime directive. You must give respect to get respected. Treat others how you wish to be treated. You give what you get and the cycle is completed. They retreated, left my boy for dead. He held his head, kept positive instead. A hate, he pushed that love. Praying one day that we all blow up. So what? Different paths, different men, hoping that we all get together, laugh in the end. Cause friends is friends and time will change. It takes a lot of strength to survive the game. Cause if you win, it's all the same. We can't get lost in the lights and fame.
Then we get Dark Side is not that strong. Me and Knife love Star Wars. That is something we bond over, but we never really talk about. And, we're definitely in love with comic book culture and pop culture, but he's a DC Batman guy. Was more of a Marvel leaning guy. But Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, we agree on shit. So the Dark Side, just mentioning that, put on perspective, the Prime Directive. That's a RoboCop reference.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
but still using that to like those bars and that those pop culture references all in the vein of motivation and self-help. Still trying to lift you up with bars, not prove that I'm better or show you how cool I am or how much money I have, but keep pushing, stay alive, don't give up. We end it with, instead of hate, he pushed that love. They retreated, left my boy for dead. He held his head, kept positive instead. I hate, he pushed that love.
They retreated, left my boy for dead. He held his head, kept positive instead. A hate, he pushed that love. Praying one day that we all blow up. So what? Different paths, different men, hoping that we all get together, laugh in the end.
I don't really want to speak on the little brother thing. It's not my place. I'm definitely an outsider, but Knife doesn't really speak on it, so I also want to respect his wishes. But this is something that's out there and it's said publicly, so I'll talk about this. That's where he was. Like, from my perspective, I just talked to Fonte, like I said, a couple years ago. So, but at this time, I had only heard Knife's story. Knife's story was, he was kicked out of the group and he wasn't mad. He was hurt. Not to say that Pooh and Tay weren't hurt. I think that, or Doe or anyone involved, like it hurt all of us to a various degree, but there were people, of course, involved directly or hurt the most. And, but he was like, he didn't sit around. Like, he didn't tell me to make a diss song about them. I think he may have even been iffy about even me saying this part, but it was just like, instead of hate, he pushed that love. Praying one day that we all blow up. Same thing for me. If you listen to the Paid Dues podcast on Patreon, you'll hear coming up about, I'm still booking Little Brother for Paid Dues. I'm still on Sleepers on Pooh's album.
Yeah. Big Pooh. What? Murs. What? It's like, I'm like, we the only three niggas it seems like in the rap game without babies, mothers. I'm like, so we gonna go to brothers. I'm like, Justice League, living legends.
There's no bad blood for me or for Knife. He didn't go shitting on him in interviews or nothing.
Cause friends is friends and time will change. It takes a lot of strength to survive the game. Cause if you win, it's all the same. We can't get lost in the lights and fame.
Cause friends is friends and times will change. It takes a lot of strength to survive the game. That's what I was learning. I was meeting people and I was like, man, people you think are whack as fuck, if they have a career, they work hard, man. It takes a lot of strength to survive the game. It's so true, man. No matter whoever you are, there's public opinion, and now there's social media. Even more than ever, it's hard to maintain that. It's hard. If you may hate a rapper, but if he is on the radio and he's had a couple hits, like, it's hard to maintain that level of success, even if you think their rhymes are whack, because writing the song lives forever. As an artist, you're in service to that song forever. You're in service to, like, if you're making a living of this, it's hard. And opening my eyes to that, like, whether I like you or not. And then as we get in Paid Dues, you're going to hear me talk about Sage Francis. The older I got and the more I went through, I don't care if I don't really like Sage's music. People do. There's lots of stumps for his rump, or whatever you want to say. And I got to respect that, because that motherfucker works hard. And what I love about Sage is that he lives what he's talking about. That shit is real to him. And real, not just to him, like, now he's limited. He's, but it took some growth on my part. I had to humble myself. And that's what made, to me, Paid Dues very successful, is because I ate a lot of crow and humbled myself to give the fans and what they want and what I thought the culture needed. And I was rewarded, and I think we were all rewarded for that. Yeah, hoping that we all get together laughing, because friends is friends, and time will change. It takes a lot of strength to survive the game. We can't get caught up in, I wanted to say we so that it wasn't as a criticism to LB or any of my brothers that feel I was talking about them on this song. Like, we can't get lost in the lights and fame. I don't think a lot of us did. I don't think any of us did. Maybe some people say that about me, but man, I really feel like we all stay pretty grounded and stay true to ourselves.
Yeah, come on. At first no one believed that I could achieve. goals I had set, hopes, dreams. Had no respect from my own team. So much pressure, felt like I couldn't breathe.
That is Push. Next up is For Real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen.
But I think this didn't really need a hook. The all the love that I feel inside. I wasn't ready to be Ghostface and like rap over someone singing.
Yo, Ron, it can't be. Why's guest starring me? Can it be? We both got hit. God's legendary. He a general. He survived Adolf. Hard to even picture God eaten by great dogs. He stated his word, and he solemnly swear to tell the truth that his bond was like pure addict pure root. Wise God, a law warrior, XY chromosome, sat heavy on the throne. Touch something for ya. That stupid veil niggas fucked up because bitches is talking.
I couldn't find a rhythm or melody other than the one that she was singing. That's hard for me. That's why Ghost is great. One of the many reasons Ghost is a great MC.
The way that I walk is something like a grip with a b-boy roster and a skateboarder twist. The woman that I love, she gotta handle all of this. I'm like 10 different dudes rolled into one. I hope she chooses to fight.
B-boy roster with a skateboard. So the way that I walk is something like a crip. B-boy roster with a skateboarder twist. Like I've been on this shit, man. And whether it's me or Exhibit or there's quite a few people that paved, to me, this alternative lane for West Coast rap in LA. The high road, you know, all of us. But to me, for the Hobson, the Dom Kennedys, all these spectrum, like widening the spectrum of what West Coast MCing can be.
So west side over everything.
It wasn't always easy, you know, like just before, you know, there George Gervin, before there was Kobe Bryant, like the Dr. J's before Michael Jordan before Kobe, the Kobe, you know, like before LeBron, like it builds the class before a lot of times. I think now rap may be at a point where there's just Van Goghs and Monets and Basquiat's and Ernie Barnes and, you know, Frida Kahlo's. Like there's just, this is the medium, play with it. But in the early era, it was, we were building on one another, and I think that we've busted wide open. And that's another reason on Groundways why I'm going to Arkansas, where I do think there's still more widening of rap. Like, you know, Jelly Roll's doing his own things, which just built on the back of Kid Rock and even Cowboy Troy. And it's you know, whether we like it or not, like that's it. But we're, you know, we're building and widening all the time. But I think there's a lot to play with out there now that there's just a lot of original, amazing art that's coming out, and also not art. But for me, like being authentically kind of like a nerd and authentically very familiar with street culture, there's a perception of me that some people, you know, were that close to me were criticized, like, oh, we talk like all this, like, because it's so cool to be hood that people thought I was being hood to be cool, and they don't get that. Like I was fully out of that, trying to like wear thrift store clothes, but where I live is where I live, and who I am at my core, and where I've lived is and I try to close that off. And like, look, I just want to ride skateboards and hang out with people in Pacific Palisades and not be in my neighborhood and not say cuz and not, you know, but the way my life was going, it was like God was telling me, like, this is who you are. You know, like whether it's the big homie Savant telling me like, yo, nah. Or us getting into a huge fight and then me looking around like, oh, these motherfuckers aren't who they say they are. They're saying I'm not this, but when this pop off, I can quickly go into this bag that I've made you all aware that exists. And all the other shit y'all was saying was nah. So it was coming into my, like me understanding this part, like the woman that I married, she got to handle all this. Like, fuck what anybody's saying. I'm finally at peace. Like, this is all me. All of this is me. Now, who does this connect with? Who does this mesh with? Where is their shared experience and common ground to build a family and a foundation? Holy shit. And that's where there is a love saga going on right now. Two very great loves in my life. And the love of my life is one of these women that I'm literally going to visit and then taking a break and then going to visit. Horrible. But it's true. Like one of these women I'm going to eventually have children with. And I'm torn. And I don't know, and I don't know if I should know. I was so 20 something and all the trauma and shit. I don't know my real age in this, but my maturity was made some poor decisions, but never from a place of I want to have a lot of bitches or who's badder or, oh, I can see she's going to grow up to be like the things I hear dudes say to me when they're choosing a partner. I'm like, are you fucking serious, bro? Ooh. The thing like people are like, oh, I don't know how he cheated on her. She's so bad. I'm like, yes, that's exactly why he cheated on her, because he's addicted to having bad bitches. Like that's, of course, if you choose someone for their looks, there's always someone who's going to look better. And around this time I had a conversation with someone I respect who was a millionaire and was like, yeah, I live in this community and everybody knows my wife cheated on me. And I guess we spoke about it last week. Like I was of the same mentality. And God, that's why I can never not believe in God. Like God brought this very rich, wealthy man that I saw as a mentor to me who changed my life in many ways. And he's telling me this story has nothing to do with the record business or saving money. He told me a lot about that too. But he's also telling me like, yeah, man, he was very similar to me. I didn't meet a lot of guys like that. That was just like, so what? I still love my wife. I have kids with my wife. So I just asked her, like, is that the last time? Was it a mistake or is this a life change? And she said it was a mistake. And then they remained happily married, I think, to this day. But everyone else around him was judging him. And he was like, it wasn't about me. He's like, there's always somebody that's funnier, richer, or with a bigger dick. Your partner has to love you and want to be with you, and you have to love your partner. And there has to be like the common ground, the real shit, man. And getting that around this time was definitely in my head. I was trying to process that, but I didn't know who I related to. Like my life experiences at this point are still a inner city black youth from a single parent home for some, whatever, from a tumultuous home life in inner city crack era Los Angeles. A lot of who I am is that. But then I have these other experiences that I try to gravitate towards. And then unlike a lot of dudes in LA, I think what saved me a lot too is like a lot of summers I went back to my family's land, or family reunions at least, and I know where I come from. And I've been to that land, and I've, like just summer nights chasing fireflies with my cousins on the land where my great-great-grandfather worked. And working that land, picking watermelons from that land, like shit, like, a lot of me being vegan is I went to the South for summers and my great grandmother would go out and wring a chicken's neck, pluck it, cook it. We would gather the hogs and go to the slaughterhouse and get the meat and eat it. Like orange juice from oranges, milk from cows, meat from actual livestock that I touched last week. Watermelon from the field, peanuts and peas from the field, corn from the front yard. And then I got home and I'd be like, Mom, how come this don't taste like when we was in Florida? Oh, Farmer John is not that shit, bro. Like the shit they put in the shit that's in the stores. Like I learned that at a young age from experience. So all these experiences, like that's me too. Like on a good day, I can name my grandfather's 13 brothers and sisters and a lot of their children. I can name all my great-great-grandfather. Like I go so far back with my roots, it makes me even different within black culture, within LA black culture. Because a lot of people move from the South and can't go back, don't go back. It was mandatory almost every summer. Then those skateboarding and comic books and getting into the magnet program, getting bussed out to schools. Like I'm all kind of crazy. There's no one, where am I going to find a partner? And, I was trying to check boxes instead of looking within. And say, these are my experiences, but they're not who I am. Who am I at my core, and who matches that? And I still believe my partner now matches that the most. But right now I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm rapping about this girl. I think some of this is still about my partner now. Like I'm going vacillating, but I think I'm trying to be slick and make a song that both of them could think are about them. I don't know. But there's a love story going on here. Punching walls. I was really into throwing my phone and punching walls. And that kind of stopped with the Murs Revenge incident when I was about to start punching another wall. And I got the crowbar, went to the office instead. That was like a shift. And then I think when I moved into the palazzo, I punched a hole in the shower wall. And I'm like, man, this apartment's 20. And I cut my whole hand. I was bleeding everywhere. And I think that was one of the last times. Then I started throwing my phone a lot because I could afford it. Then I started thinking about the precious minerals and shit in there. Oh, man. I'm like, all right. If not, like, I'm definitely hurting Africa with my temper if I don't value the actual value. Because I was getting free phones, too. I was just like, fuck this bit. And I was in a volatile relationship or doing business in this fucking industry, not a business, in this music industry and fucking dealing with promoters. I mean, man, like, if you know, when you listen to the Pay Dues podcast on Patreon, like calling artists up and having artists shit on me or artist guest lists, like, man, I broke bread with rappers and more than rappers than anybody else that I say on the song, on the new Speak and Spell EP that I put out, or not new, but for me it's new. Speak and Spell EP is like me, Larry June, and Ice Cold Bishop song called, what is it called? Starting Lineup.
Broke bread with more rappers than anybody else. Cause I know the struggle trying to do it by yourself. Paid dues really made a difference. Mix the boom bap with some pyro and crippin'. Yeah, your favorite rapper.
Yeah, broke bread with more rappers than anybody else. To me, that's a badge of honor, but man, it was a struggle. You don't want to deal with artists all day. Entitlement, ego, like, you deal with that. And my own ego, like, all that. Like, so I broke a lot of phones, punched a lot of walls, but I got better. But when you're stopping smoking cigarettes and you're not drinking, but exercise also helped with that. Having an exercise regimen and living in a fancy place where I can go to the gym and get Mad Dog by Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if it was you or we were talking to someone else. Man, this dude, I won't even say his name, but a famous rock and roll celebrity with his nipples pierced in a mesh tank top. Yeah, I think I was telling somebody because Lenny Kravitz's daughter was clowning him about the mesh. But this motherfucker tried to work in with us. Like, me and the homies are like on the bench and it's on the incline. He's like, hey, can I work in with you? It was like, nah, bro. There's no way that I can work in with you with a lace tank top, or it wasn't even a tank top, it had sleeves. I can still see it. And, you know, back then, it's a different world now, but all these piercings, your black fingernails, and your nipple rings, bro, I'm not about to share this bench with you. You're not about to be in our rotation, bro. I appreciate you having the confidence to come over and want to work out with the black guys, but fuck no, bro. No, sir. Can't die. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Nah, baby, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Oh, man. So shallow. Fuck me, right? Fuck me and I have no tolerance. Oh, man. Anyway, though. But yeah, I don't even really fuck with that dude's music, but I fuck with Lenny Kravitz and his mesh and nipple and all that shit. He's sexy. Great. Motherfucker. Yeah, he's his catalog, bro. That's how Felt 2 became a tribute to Lisa Bonet, because me and Slug were talking about It Ain't Over Till It's Over. And like, how amazing of a woman do you have to be to hear that song? Is one of the best songs ever made.
Here we are, still together. We are one. So much time wasted playing games with love. So many tears I've cried, so much pain inside. But baby, it ain't over till it's over.
If you've ever fought for love, it ain't over till it's over. And Lisa Bonet heard that shit and said, nah, cuz I'm good. Fuck, or blood. Like, fuck you, blood. Like, I don't give a fuck. Great song, Lenny. No, I'm not taking you back, buddy. Our daughter is beautiful, talented, but you're friend zone for life. But thanks for the ditty, but fuck off, Romeo Blue. Oh man, we laughed. Me and Slug laughed. I think that's what we laughed about. I'm not gonna put him in my shit, but I laughed my ass. I was like, damn, what an amazing woman. You are so magnificent. The power. But man, that dude's catalog, I played the other day. Even this new shit. Lenny Kravitz is one of the all-time great American musicians. And I don't know if it was this album I was listening to him for or Murray's Revenge, but it was one of these. And I just, man. And when he did, like right around that time I got into him, I didn't know, of course I wasn't like familiar, I wasn't plugged in, but he would put out a new album. I think it's Baptism. And it has Jay-Z on it. And at that time, I was enamored with Jay-Z. And I was like, holy shit. Now Lenny Kravitz has a song with Hove? Oh! And it's dope. It's not like some, the Linkin Park shit wasn't for me, bro. But that.
You're the fire that keeps me warm. How will I get through this storm?
I got the bounce, Lenny. Check me out. Brooklyn's bad boy back again. Feet hit the ground, running and my back's to the wind. Angels on my shoulders, head in the clouds. No, I'm not rapping, I'm just thinking real loud. My karma's my armor, my charm and weird. It's like a leather bomb, I warm shit.
Yeah, man, he's been a definite inspiration. And I think he has lands in Brazil too, and state my partner's from. So, full circle, like great minds vibe alike, or great beings vibrate alike. Is that better? But yeah, I stopped punching shit and fought some, lost some. I think this is a pretty clear error for me from being in altercations. I don't think I had an altercation after the what is the tour? One of the I think Murray's Revenge. No, yeah, one of the 316 tour after 316. I think. I don't think it's been a good 20-something years, man. So that I've good. I don't know how long it's been since I punched a wall or something, but I think I'm doing great, man. Knock on wood. God, thank God, praise God. Through the power of Jesus Christ. Woo! You guys have no idea. These are the struggles, man. These are the things. Everybody has their own peckle. As I researched how I misused the Yiddish word, I listened to my son was like, "Why are we listening? Are you trying to learn Yiddish?" And I'm like, "No, I made a mistake on the podcast, son, and now I'm trying to educate myself." This is how seriously I take self-reflection and self-education. I'm not going to appropriate and or misuse and not learn the lesson. I expect people from other cultures to do the same. I would treat other cultures with the same reverence and respect. But yeah, peckle. Everyone has. I think that's what I was told on the YouTube. But she could be misinformed. Jesus. The second verse is about women in my life that supported me.
So many people showed me love when I was in the drought. Eli's mama let me stay at their house. Pack when my own mama, she wouldn't kick me out. T.S. mama let me sleep on her couch. Said make $1 million, then you can take me out. I thought that she was so fine, it made me want to shout. And of course Naomi always tried to pay for everything. Wish y'all got along, cause she might get this wedding ringing. You can't have everything. Tripping over little stuff, you'll never see the better things. And my nosy ass auntie will always have my back. When none of y'all want me, they all get my love wherever they go. To my mama selling merch at every LA show. Counting in and counting out, she taught me what it's all about. The best women ever got my back, no doubt.
Mama Jo is Eli's mom who let me stay at the house. And I say, "Mom, kick me out," but we've since come to terms. My mother wants me to say when I chose to leave. She basically gave, "Are you going to rap or stay at the house?" So she didn't kick me out. That's the ultimatum. When I went to the Tony Robbins seminar, Tony Robbins says that if you don't have more than 2 choices, it's an ultimatum, guys. So mother, you didn't really give me a choice. You gave me an ultimatum. Anyway, I chose rap. Good choice, Nicholas. And Mama Joe, Eli's mom, she's been on a lot of Legend stuff, 3MG stuff. She's a talented singer.
One time, only once. For your mom, body and soul. I'm gonna tell them that I'm not here. Ain't taking no calls today. Time to refresh and do it all my way. Get off my back.
Great woman. Took me in. I was sleeping at the homie's house in Westchester. Motherfucking wearing my underwear. Fucking girls on their period in my underwear and washing them in the sink and folding them and putting them back in my stack. Stealing the motherfucker just absconding. A motherfucker living absconded with a quarter pound of weed that I just bought. It was some shit happening at that house, and I had to get out of there, bro, before I wouldn't be here today. So I went to live in Northridge with Eli, and this is where at my first wedding, Mama Joe took it upon herself to tell everyone at the table. I forget what table we sat her at. She was, yeah, Nick used to just walk around the neighborhood with the golf club. That's where because I had to get in. I had a golf club when I was in high school, having to walk through certain parts on the way home. Nigga was fucking with me. I had a hatchet. I had a golf club, but then we went to Northridge, and there's lots of Latinos. And Eli told me the other day, like, I didn't get it until like I got it. I was like, oh shit, yeah, they don't really care for black people over here. So the San Fernando Valley wasn't a friendly area in the mid 90s for blackface in certain parts. Now all my fans are Latino from a lot of them from San Fernando Valley. Go figure. 7 years later, I'd be, operating, managing, and investing in a hip hop store in the Valley with mostly brown kids shopping there. But in this era, shit was not fire, bro. So I was walking around the golf club, living there, making 4-track music. Eli's mom let us smoke weed and beaties. I wasn't smoking weed at the time, I don't think, but beaties in the garage, shrooming. Like, she came home one day, we were all, the only one time I did shroom, she came in, she laughed with us. One day, I got kicked out. Why? Because we fucked around all day. I'm not going to say kibitzing, bullshitting, skylarking. I think that's appropriate. And she came home and she's like, yo, Eli, all you had to do was take out the shit. Now your friend can't stay here anymore. No more friends over. I'm like, nigga, if you told me, cuz like all we had to do was pick up the dog shit. Do you understand? Like, my chores every day since the 3rd grade have been like, clean the toilet, mop the floor, feed your brother, do your homework, make your bed, put your clothes up, hang up your school clothes, get in your play clothes, like take out the trash, like pick up the dog shit, the dog we kick it with all day. That's all we had to do. I would have done it for you, bro, for free. I just need a place to live. I can't go home, bro. Oh man, I was hurt. I was hot. But then TS's mother let me live with them. God bless her. And I thought she was so beautiful. And so I asked her on a date, and she said, when you make $1 million. Oh man, I was out of pocket, but, I often say, just say what's on my mind, y'all. That's why this podcast is what it is. And it's still very filtered. But man, yes. So God bless her. She let me live with them. And they lived in 20s hood. So we would still go to SMC. And I believe at this time, my homie had a DUI, couldn't drive, or was in the process of getting a new car, saving up, whatever. But we wanted to go to SMC. West LA to Santa Monica is very far. Midtown. This is official Midtown. We're in Midtown. So we would have to walk from his house. Geographically, let's just say Adams and Arlington to Pico and Rimpaw. So for those of you who know the neighborhood, that's like 20th hood through 18th Street hood, through Schoolyard hood, kind of West Boulevard hood to the Blue Bus. Then you take the Blue Bus through Mansfield, Marvin, Gear, by yourself hood. Then there's the Jewish section of town. And then when you get to Santa Monica, it's the Santa Monica Tres, I think. And then just to get to SMC, to sell weed, smoke beaties, smoke weed, talk to girls, and rap. I went to 1 botany class and 1 math class, I believe. Not like 1 whole semester of a class, but a class of each And I went there every day, basically risked my life or freedom, because it's just probably more likely to get arrested than to get shot at, because we did look very weird. A bunch of white dudes or white presenting dudes with dreads. My homie that lived over there is half black, but looks very white. I didn't believe he was black till I met his mother. Eli, just could be any random. Just, we were a motley crew of fake ass Rasta, I don't know, hip hop, b-boy, gangbanger, tag banger, looking motherfuckers. We look like a lick though, like motherfuckers. Like we could definitely get robbed or go to. We look like we had weed on us, which was highly illegal. We definitely had weed on us, and we definitely had a little bit of money on us. So we were a lick, some type of Walkman or designer Nike. But that was still back when hood dudes weren't really up on gear, so they weren't going to take our Nike ACGs or our Timberlands. But I think on the homie only got robbed once, but they got him for a lot of money. But that was when we were living there. Next, the homie's girlfriend, Jesse, my producer for the new album, my longest running collaborative producer, had a girlfriend, and Naomi would be at all of we were on high school. His girlfriend, like we would hang out. Sometimes he would be like, I can't hang out with you guys. Naomi wants to spend quality time. But then me and Naomi and I became great friends. And then her and Jesse broke up, and then she started dating. I hooked her up with my new best friend, TS, and then they started dating. So then me and Naomi still continue to be friends. She wasn't fond of one of the girls I was dating. She was very fond of the other one, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. Time has passed. But she was an amazing, encouraging, supportive. Like, after we got in the brawl at the promenade, she's like, went and got everybody ice cream. But like, she was like, her and Jesse were like my first like friends, not from the hood. And so like, they introduced me to like Trey Torn shoes and Trader Joe's and shit like that. Shit I shop now. Like Trader Joe's is reasonable in my eyes. Like Trader Joe's, it's actually probably better to go to Trader Joe's or Ralph's financially, as well as maybe a little more healthy. But I was like, wow, what is this Trader Joe's? Oh man, like the snacks and like this, and she had a car, but she was a hardworking young lady. She was definitely, my half-white Korean homegirl who worked in South Central at the cleaners, had no business here. But she's like, oh, your mom needs help and I need a job. I'm going. And I was like, all right. But, I love like trilingual Spanish, Korean, English, like handling it. Like, and then still like talking to all the B-dogs that come in and like the Bloods, like she's good. But that's like real LA shit. Like just like she went to a public school in LA where there were Latinos and gangbangers and black folks and bougie black people. Like she's very well, you're like someone, you can't judge that book by its cover, and her support like has been so tremendous, and she knew the woman I should have been with the whole time. So she picked one. She picked it. She called it. Then going to my auntie who's nosy, but my auntie, I joke with her like that, but oh my gosh. Yeah, from Detroit. She's been with my uncle almost my whole life. They lived upstairs from us in an apartment complex that we lived in, and it was just like they lived upstairs. We lived in a unit under them, and we could just run upstairs. Like she didn't know us from Adam, but we were her boys. Like before she had her own children, they treated us like their children. So it was amazing. She's always supportive. I don't even know if my aunt listens to my music, but she she supports. Like they have CDs. They'll ask me to sign CDs, my tapes. Like for just man, definitely had me perform LA at my cousin's graduation in their backyard. And I said yes. Like I'm on MTV, and my auntie like, you gonna come rap at your cousin? Yep. And I hate rapping in front of people. The smaller the more weird. That was an awkward thing, but anything for her because she's done so much for me. And then my mom went from I'm gonna kick you out, or sorry, I'm gonna give you an ultimatum, and to my mom was working at the cleaners Monday through Saturday, selling paid dues tickets and handling her business, managing and working the floor, waiting on the counters, like all that on her feet, you know, in her, at this point, like early 60s, late 50s, after raising 2 boys, you know, then she's like, all right, first pay dues, like I'm gonna sell merch for sure. She doesn't know what that is. I don't really know what that is, but all right, here's some t-shirts. My first time like getting t-shirts pressed. I wish anyone has a Murs Rules the World t-shirt or a Bad Man 316 t-shirt, let me know. I will buy it from you. I need both of those. And man, she was good at it. Wasn't like a ploy, a marketing ploy, but it's great marketing. Like, this is the artist's mother. This is Mama Murs, or Mama and Papa Murs, even though like my stepfather is not my father, but he's my kid's grandfather and he's great. So like the Mama and Papa Murs, like that's it. People love that. And then my mom waits on counters and works with clothes. Like, so she doesn't, you know, these clothes aren't dirty, and she loves people. And so she's like made like kids. Well, I love your mom. I never met you, but I know your mom. Because they go to the merch booth, she would talk to everybody, and she's a salesperson. And who better other than my wife? But I don't think I still met. I've been married twice. I don't think I've been married. I don't think either of my wives are a better salesperson than my mother. As good, but it's not the same. You know, I don't think from a consumer perspective, like, oh, you're his wife, and then, oh, you're his mother. Like, I gotta buy something because there's a little more pressure because like you can say no to my wife or my girlfriend or my brother, but my mom's, this is her son's t-shirt. You gotta buy her son's t-shirt. I feel like it's unfair. I didn't think about that initially. I was like, I need someone to work the merch booth because I've never really had a merch booth. And this is a festival. There's going to be 5,000 people. And then as it got to 30,000 people, my mom and my stepfather would bring the cleaner's van, load in, load out. They got the netting. They had like innovative things. They would go to other booths and then talk like they knew. Shout out to Big Arch, rest in peace, for Rebel Arms, who like the people, he's a part of the Immortal Techniques crew. You know, I'm not too familiar. I'm not the hugest Immortal Technique fan, but I love Big Arch, bro. I don't know a lot about what songs he's on or what his place is in the clique, but man, let me tell you, bro, what a guy. He would every pay dues, cause you know, or Rock the Bells, because my mom was even at Rock the Bells. He'd be like, I checked on mom, she's good, bro. And then, you know, I would be there. He'd just be sitting there talking to my mom, and I'd be like, yo, who are you? Big Arch, Rebel Arms, son. Your mom, she's good peoples. You good, bro. She good. Let me know. I'll make sure, you know, I'm just like, I didn't ask you, bro, but thank you, man. I always love seeing, that's what I miss most about paid dues is the community. Man, when he passed away, you know, like, I'm not connected to that clique through real, like, I know Poison Pen and I know Arch. I don't really know Immortal Technique like that. I don't know Tech. I don't know a lot of the music or the beats, or I don't know it, but I know Pen because before Rebel Arms, and I know Arch from just being a solid ass dude, bro. Looking out for our moms and us. But a lot of artists would stop by and say hi, kids. It was just a great thing to see her go from what the fuck, go take your ass to school or get the fuck out, to folding my t-shirts from, you know, pay dues load in like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. She show up when I show up, sometimes before me. And shout out to Jose, like my Jose Joaquin. I am Jose One. Give him a follow. Send him nudes. My tour manager, my brother, like everybody on the Guerrilla Union staff would check in on Mama Murs, whatever she needed, but she was just on her feet from after being on her feet all week. Then she would come to pay dues and be on her feet all day. I couldn't give her a break. Like her and my stepfather worked from sun up basically to after sundown. 10 p.m., midnight when we close pay dues? Like, these are, you know, I'm not going to feel that way because I'm going to be that older a couple years, but elderly people, bro. Yo, my son better not. Nah, that's why I'm vegan and I try to stay in shape because I owe that to my kids. But they, unfortunately, they're going to be doing this shit when I'm 70, and I'm going to have to be 70 working their merch booth or whatever virtual bullshit in the cyberverse, fucking whatever. I'm doing it because my mama did it for me, and I owe that to my children. Never missed a paid dues. Always work the booths. Never missed to rock the bells. Always work the booth. No real breaks. She's the one that like got me the square, got me the credit card. Like, she was on the cutting edge of merch. Like, she was a fucking 17-year-old intern at a label, or 18, 19, whatever. Like she's a roadie. if she could once, but I did take her later on. Talking about like she comes on the Murs for President like press run tour, in-store tour, and she's like, nah, B. This is getting on the planes, like having to yell at my mom about lobby call and like getting to the plane. Like, we travel together now for fun. We're not traveling for work. She was like, nah, I don't know how you do it. But it was good for her to see, like she sees, you know, early on she would be like, oh, what's up, Easy Money? What's up, Easy Money? Then when she started selling merch and like traveling with me, she's like, all right, what else can I do to help? And if I don't get anything else going in my life, which I'm gonna say, I hope to do the same thing when people ask me. Another reason I want to stop touring and recording new music is so that I can try to take over the family business, and so she doesn't come down as much now. So, but yeah, that's it. My mom's selling merch. Count in, count out. She taught me what it's all about.
Me what it's all about. The best women ever got my back, no doubt.
And that's an episode for y'all. Be back next week. Probably think we can finish Sweet Lord, but I won't make any promises. But this is definitely not as long as last week. New Pay Dues episode coming to Patreon if y'all are interested in that. And follow BRILA, I think it's podcast, on Instagram. And yeah, if you're going to buy any headphones, microphones, I call them whole lights, but lights for when you're streaming, use Logitech G. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace. Peace.